Parliament all of yesterday and has spilled over to today. Viewers, when foreign policy becomes a theatrical prop, who really benefits and who pays the price? Fundamental question. I wrote a piece today, viewers, which you can read. I've put it out on Twitter. Please go through it. It's an elaboration on the point I'm going to make. Congress leader Rahul Gandhi has yet again mounted the moral high horse, but this time with a megaphone aimed at India's Prime Minister speaking in the Lok Sabha. He threw down the gauntlet. And he has said, viewers, and let me quote him before I play out his soundbite. He has said, in no uncertain terms, that if Modi ji has even 50% of the courage that Indira Gandhi had, then clearly he must say in Parliament, Donald Trump is lying. Trump, you're a liar. You did not make a ceasefire, unquote. Listen in, viewers.
If he has the courage of Indira Gandhi, yes, let him say here, yes, let him say here, yes, that Donald Trump, you're a liar. Yes. That you did not make a ceasefire and that we did not lose any planes. Let him say it here. Yes. If he has the courage. 50% भी है इंदिरा गांधी का तो यहां बोल दे.
Viewers, that dare or taunt or that urging of the Prime Minister capricens a shrill campaign launched by the Congress aimed at providing Modi some sort of gateway to redemption in the public sphere as if he needed one. For the past few weeks, the principal opposition party has sought to establish that Modi surrendered India's strategic autonomy. That he did so by agreeing to a Donald Trump-dictated ceasefire just as India's armed forces had gained the upper hand over Pakistan's military during Operation Sindoor. Nevertheless, to call upon Prime Minister Modi to publicly label the head of a partner nation, a key strategic ally, many are saying is shallow, inflammatory and counterproductive. Sources in the BJP claims that Rahul is acting like an adolescent. Adolescent on part of Rahul Gandhi to say PM should call Trump a liar on the floor of Parliament. India and US have a strategic partnership. Congress has been in power. It should know how government functions, unquote. This is what sources have been telling us, viewers, and this has also been brought up by the Union Home Minister in his speech. The Congress party should recognize that performative diplomacy is at best a tone-deaf spectacle and at worst a ham-fisted ploy deployed by image-obsessed egomaniacs. History offers no shortage of such self-defeating pageants of brinkmanship. Consider the example of Maldivian President Mohammad Muizzu. He wore India out t-shirts. He snubbed Prime Minister Modi, and what happened? Tourism crashed, aid was frozen, his economy tanked. 2 years later, he's rolling out the red carpet for the leader of the country he chided. Rahul Gandhi invokes Indira Gandhi. But let's go back to 1971. US President Nixon privately called Indira Gandhi a witch. And another epithet that rhymed with the word, and I'm not going to use it because it is absolutely, viewers, vicious and filthy. How did that play out, viewers, that insult to Indira Gandhi? The resulting diplomatic chill pushed New Delhi into closer alignment with Moscow, altering the regional balance of power for decades. And it didn't help America. But Rahul Gandhi isn't willing to heed the lessons of history. He repeated his provocative taunt once again, viewers, today. Listen in.
नहीं, क्योंकि सच्चाई है ना, अगर पीएम ने बोल दिया तो फिर वो खुल के बोलेगा और वो पूरी सच्चाई रख देगा, तो इसलिए नहीं बोल पा रहे.
Because apart from, of course, the syntax and the way, this construction of that sentence with just about no attention to any respectful discourse. Apart from that, the comment by Rahul Gandhi prompts the question, is Rahul Gandhi standing up for the truth or is he pitching a petulant tantrum in a Nehru jacket? Because let's ask this question. We have with us Deepak Vora, former diplomat, Shazia Ilmi of the Bharatiya Janata Party. We have with us Suhail Seth. We have a columnist, Sajid K. Subariwala, who is the leader of the Sena UBT. Now, I want to first begin with you, Mr. Vora. And this is an important question because, see, I don't want to prejudge this issue. I've given an introduction, I've told you where I stand, but I'm not going to put words in your mouth, and I'm going to ask you, is this a tantrum? Is this performative, petty performative politics, or is it really an effective truth test that needs to be set?
All right, thank you very much. Always a pleasure to be with you. And I see the outstanding Miss Azmi over there, and I see Mr. Said, and we have another guest, all of whom are much brighter than I am. But thank you. You gave such a brilliant introduction. May I ask you a question, sir? Your watch says, and you tell me that it is now 4 o'clock in the morning, and I say you're talking rubbish. It's now 10 o'clock or 9:40 in the evening. Do I have to call you a liar for telling me that it's 4 o'clock in the morning? In diplomacy, we are trained to say, my watch says it's such and time. I don't wish to criticize you. Chanakya told us long ago, don't abuse, even if he's your adversary. What do we gain? Let's assume for a moment, sir, that we call Mr. President Donald Trump a liar. What does that achieve for us, sir? You remember you used the term where Richard Nixon, I've seen those minutes, where he used to have a character called Henry, who used to go to kissing people, Kissinger, that's right. And they used a terrible word for Srimati Indira Gandhi. Did we respond? Did we say Henry the K is whatever? We did not, sir. That is the maturity of India's diplomacy. We are Chanakya's children. We don't deal with it. Secondly, if Donald Trump has been saying, I negotiated the peace deal, all right, if you live in your fantasy, go ahead. How does that hurt me, sir? Does it hurt me in any way, whether he negotiated or the moon negotiated or the king of Papua New Guinea negotiated? How does it matter? The important thing is we have maintained our dignity and self-respect. And I believe that that is something, I heard the language again. वो क्यों नहीं बोलता? फिर वो ये बोलेगा, वो सब कुछ खोल देगा. वो कौन है, sir? कम से कम राष्ट्रपति ट्रम्प तो बोलो. I'm sorry, sir, but this is not how we are trained. I've been 52 years in diplomacy. And whatever the language we use, it's very measured. Somebody has just sent me a tweet, sir. May I read it out to you?
Yeah, please.
Everyone watches your program. He says, referring to our neighbor, has been selling... Sorry, sir, forgive me. This is not intended to be an attack on any politician. Says, our neighbor has been selling donkeys to China. Well, we can give a few free to them. Now, this is not meant to be an attack on any individual. I think he was talking about some reports that came. But it makes a point that what is it that we are trying to achieve? The message, and you've seen the government's response, sir? You haven't read it out. We have said that we have been negotiating a fair, balanced, mutually beneficial trade agreement. We attach the utmost importance to protecting and promoting the welfare of our farmers. This is regarding the tariffs. Our entrepreneurs, our MSMEs. So the point we are making is that we are protecting our interests as we've always done. You may be the big fellow. I may not be militarily as strong as you, although if we had a direct confrontation, I dare say, a fantasy that we'll beat the SH-1T out of you. But nevertheless, the point here is that I'm doing what I have to for my country. You do what you think is best for you. We'll find a common ground. And we will. These kind of statements don't help at all. A hardening of attitudes is the last thing we want in diplomacy.
So you think it was mature of the Prime Minister that he put India first and not his own ego and not his own pride by saying, I'm not going to fall for the bait that Rahul Gandhi is hanging out in front of my face, basically?
Absolutely, sir. He is a very mature politician. He's a great leader. No wonder that he's universally acknowledged as the most popular leader in the world today, sir. It's been going on for 3 years. If that happens, give some sense to the people who vote for this. The man is outstanding in every which way. And whatever you think of Donald Trump, he's trying to please his domestic constituency. Mr. Modi, sir, is trying to respond internationally. We've even said that we negotiated this deal with the UK. We protected India's interests.
Yeah.
So therefore, the important thing, then he says, you might recall what President Trump once said, that I managed to prevent a nuclear war. A few days later, the Prime Minister of Afghanistan, we've forgotten that. He said there was never any question of a nuclear war.
That's true.
What is coming out? I don't know. I'm terribly confused.
So he's unreliable. So he's okay. So you don't really have to rub it in. You don't have to stand there and grandstand, etc., etc. Okay, you do your quiet diplomacy. That's what you're saying.
Effective.
Okay, let me bring in Suhail Said. Let's get a sense really of what the panel thinks. Suhail Said, a important test of truth that Rahul Gandhi is sort of hit on, saying come out and say, Trump, you're a liar. Or is this complete performative, petulant politics that doesn't belong in the theater of nations that take A, themselves seriously, and B, have today become high players on the global stage, and most importantly, whatever they do and they say impacts thousands and millions of lives all across, not just in India, but all across the globe. This doesn't gel well with that sort of an image.
There's a reason why Rahul Gandhi is in opposition and Narendra Modi is the Prime Minister of India. There's a reason. The reason is intellect, maturity, gravitas, and focus. These four things. And these are four abiding principles of any great leader. Number two, you don't have to fight with a pig all the time. Because, you know, the pig gets dirty, the pig enjoys it, and you get all messed up. He doesn't have to respond to every question or comment of Rahul Gandhi's. But, you know, I want to come back to what you touched upon. And I said that on a television channel last evening. I'm finding from session to session, Rahul Gandhi's discourse becoming even more, and you use the word petulant, I would say discourteous is the word. It lacks brevity, it lacks gravitas, and it lacks etiquette. There's a certain decency with which you conduct yourself in Parliament, even more so when you're the leader of the opposition. People are looking at you. If they wanted a street urchin kind of attitude, they would have looked at it the other way. Look at our politicians across the spectrum. Whether it is this gentleman is representing Uddhav's party, whether it's Uddhav Thackeray, whether it is Sharad Pawar, they may have personal differences, political differences, but there'll be a certain tonality with which they will speak. That, I'm sad to say, is lacking today. The Prime Minister has a country to lead and has a country to worry about. He's not to worry about debating points being scored in Parliament. That's the nutshell. That's what the nub of the issue is.
So let me open this up and bring in the Sena UBT leader here. And let me ask you a question, sir, Mr. Supariwala. It's a straightforward question. Yeah. Rahul Gandhi invoked his grandmother, Indira Gandhi, not once but several times in that debate. You must have heard. Now, she never responded to Nixon. And you know what Nixon has said. I don't need to say it, please. It's a terrible abuse. Very sexist, misogynistic abuse that was directed towards her. She never got into a verbal splat. She could have easily done that, but she didn't. She didn't. She never did. She retained poise, dignity. Is Rahul Gandhi dishonoring her legacy by reducing diplomacy to this drama? आप इसको बुलाओ, झूठा बुलाओ, ये करो, वो करो. Sir, ये तो, this doesn't gel with a country that has the pretensions of leading the world. We're not Pakistan.
Rahul, thanks for making me and let me come in. The thing is, see, this is my own personal opinion also, as well as or whatever all the other parties are saying, or whatever other panel are saying. Keeping that aside, I will call a spade. As you know, Rahul, I am a follower of Balasaheb Thackeray. We are Shiv Sainiks and we follow the principle of Balasaheb Thackeray. Whatever Rahul has said is in democracy. We are in a democracy. Opposition has every right to question. Indira Gandhi was not called an iron lady just like that only. She was a woman of action. Politics has changed tremendously since last 15, 16, 18, 20 years. There has been a lot of instances where he has been also called Pappu by the BJP. So you cannot say why he's speaking to Modi like that. See, Modi ji is a prime minister, but I'm not here to just glorify my prime minister. If he's done something which is not, we are not satisfied, we have every right to question because we are in democracy.
No, I'm not denying your right to question.
No, 1 minute. Let me complete, Rahul. When you are making me speak, let me complete. What I was trying to tell you here is, we are not here to glorify the PM. If the PM has, it's a human being. After the PM also is a human being. There can be human errors. There has been instances where Pakistan had been warned by Indian ambassadors that we are going to whatever this is happening. What was the point and reason? There was no reason or point to even do that. I mean, you shouldn't have informed Pakistan that we are attacking. We should have attacked.
So Pariwala
And
ji,
secondly,
no, the question is
Honestly, I
this.
haven't understood.
The question is very simple.
We
The
have not
question
yet-
is, should the Prime Minister be forced in Parliament to take on the leader of another democratic major superpower? No, 1 second. And call him a liar by name. That's what I'm asking you. Or does
I'm coming to you, Rahul.
that exhibit a certain immaturity?
I'm coming
That's
to it.
all.
No, whenever the ruling government or the state government or the Modi government doesn't have answers to certain questions, they start calling the other person childish and immature.
Okay.
It was a question.
So let me
raised by
let me bring in Shazia Ilmi. He says
It was a question of
that you are
leader.
trying to you're
the
trying to okay.
responsibility
So
is
he's
asked the
saying
question.
he's saying
The
that you're
Pahalgam
okay.
terrorists
1
are still
second.
absconding.
Okay, 1 second. Let me bring in Shazia Ilmi. Let her
What
you
about
made a
the
charge.
people who have been affected, the family who have been
ठीक
affected?
है, you made a charge, sir. Let me bring her in. Let me bring her in. Have some patience. Shazia Ilmi, he's saying that you're delegitimizing the import of what Rahul Gandhi is getting at by character assassinating him, saying that he is, what is the word that was used, that he is a adolescent mind.
I
How
think
do
it's
you
on it's the other way around. I think it's Rahul Gandhi who undermines his own image and brings down the position of leader of opposition.
Miji, when you
I think he
don't
should
have
wear
a
it.
right to
Yes,
a question,
Sajid
you
Saab,
start
can you
naming
bear me
people.
out? I'm just beginning to
You
speak.
start
Show some
keeping
manners.
names for them.
No, can you be quiet, sir? So imagine,
No, because
I mean,
need
look at
to-
the lack
I
of
need to reply
diplomatic
to you.
recklessness,
Because if you are saying something
petulance.
which is not
No,
up to the
sir, I
standard,
did not
have
speak
to
when you
reply
were
to
speaking.
you.
You'll have to be quiet, sir. You'll have to display
You can
some
continue,
manners.
Rahul,
So
go
I'll be difficult for you,
No,
but
let
you will
her
have,
finish.
still have to
At
try.
least let her respond, sir. You can respond. Please let her finish. She never interrupted you.
No, diplomacy is not street drama. It's not international.
Exactly.
Relations don't work on this, Twitter tantrums, and street theatrics. This is very immature. And Rahul Gandhi cuts a very sorry figure. It doesn't happen that way. I mean, would he ask this question? Would we ask this question? Biden, Nehru call Mao Zedong a liar or a crook or somebody who stabbed his
What are you
stabbed
talking,
him?
Shazia ji?
Nobody talks like that. There's a way you speak
irrelevant.
and conduct yourself. There is a language and there's a structure and tonality and gravitas that comes with it. It shows complete lack of no seasoned politician or diplomat or anybody in public life will talk like that. It is too petulant. It is too idiotic. It makes you feel sorry for Rahul Gandhi.
I don't
In
agree.
fact, so I think there's diplomatic recklessness. And you don't talk about any president of any sovereign nation or otherwise in these terms. It's just the language you choose. You conduct yourself a certain way and you're leader of opposition. So I feel very disheartened.
Well, let me
Not
tell you,
because
viewers.
some-
Let me
But
tell
as
you,
a citizen,
when
we have a
Trump,
leader of opposition.
no, when Trump,
Call Trump a liar. Call Trump a liar.
Okay,
I mean, it just
when
sounds
Trump,
really
when
terrible.
Trump has called, no, hang on, viewers. You see, let me just put this in a different context. You see, there was.
But we
one
don't have
second.
to emulate Trump now,
Let me
do
bring
we?
it. Yes, exactly. So let me just one second. Let me, viewers. One of the greatest objections to Mr. Trump is the loose manner in which he addresses other international leaders. You know what he said about Trudeau, whether they deserve it or not. He doesn't believe in propriety. You know what he says about Zelensky. He picked on him because he didn't have a suit on. There were many other things that he said to trivialize. He's a bully. Now we don't want our prime minister to behave in a gauche way. In a gauche way. We need to be proud of our prime minister. He needs to have a certain.
It's beyond gauche.
Okay.
So
1 second. Let me just bring this in. You see, and I have to ask you, Suhail Seth, because there was a time when the chief minister of a particular state called Telangana, KCR, got up and called Rahul Gandhi something, if you remember. And the Congress had a meltdown. Had a complete meltdown. They said, how can he say this? How can he say this? So if the Congress expects that their leaders should be addressed in a particular way, why does it want other leaders to be dragged through the mud? So he'll say, that's the question, isn't it?
It's very simple. Today, the Congress does not have real issues. And I totally disagree with Sajid Supariwala about democracy. Democracy doesn't give you the right to behave badly. Much like it doesn't give the right to
anybody
your
can call Rahul
people
Gandhi
in Bombay
Pappu and
to
that's
beat
fine.
up people because they don't know the language. You want to behave like hooligans? Behave on
That means
streets or in
anything is
parliament.
called to Rahul Gandhi,
That is
fine.
why the
But
problem
Rahul
with the
Gandhi is
Supari
taking a
Walas of the
stand,
world is,
it is
and
wrong.
Uddhav Thackeray is different. You saw what the Raj Thackeray's people did. Went and beat up an 80-year-old man. Is that the politics
we
we
are
hold
not
in this
discussing
country?
that right
I'm
now.
sorry we
What we
don't.
discuss the decorum
I'm
of the
sorry.
parliament.
Please don't give excuses for bad, terrible behavior and bad
The behavior
Sanskrit.
was very much as
I'm
per
sorry.
the opposition
Please
should behave.
do not,
Everybody
do
has a
not
right. It's a
talk
democracy.
this kind of language. There is a
Everybody
certain
has a right to
decorum
ask.
that is needed in parliament.
And you have to
There's a
reply to
reason
the
why
question.
you are
When
not in
don't have a
parliament
reply
yet.
to the
Okay,
questions,
everyone,
I'm
he
sorry.
says, everyone, now hang on, this is very important. Viewers,
Just framed in an abusive manner.
okay, so you know what, he says everyone has a right to ask. Viewers,
Absolutely.
sometimes the question matters more than the answer. Sometimes the tone of the question matters the most. You can ask an answer, you can ask a question in a particular way. It doesn't undermine the argument. But Rahul Gandhi has trivialized a very important issue by allowing for people to nitpick and tear apart his words and unpack the level of maturity that he's exhibiting. And that's the problem, viewers. He's actually weakened his own case, Deepak Vora, has he not? Very quickly, I have 30 seconds.
Now, all I wanted to say, sir, is that we are trained from day one in the Foreign Service. That whatever language you use, remember, it'll come back to haunt you. So therefore, choose your words very, very carefully.
Well,
we are not trained to abuse.
Viewers, remember what Muizi did of Maldives?
Yeah.
Look at the T-shirt
India
that he
out.
wore. And India out, and he also decided that he wouldn't show up for the Prime Minister swearing in. He was the only regional leader who didn't. And guess what, viewers? 2 years later, he's rolling
He
out
had
the
to
red
eat his
carpet.
humble pie.
Had to, absolutely. I leave it at this, viewers. I leave you to ponder this and think about the LOP and what he represents. Think about that. I leave it at this, viewers.